Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Finch, Susan Finch Solutions, but I'm also the online marketing director for the Sales Lead Management Association. The association is for sales and marketing professionals. And today I am here with the CEO of the Sales Lead Management Association, fondly called the SLMA, James Obermayer. Jim, can you go ahead and tell us why we're here today?
Well, this is kind of a second announcement for our program that we're running, which is the 20 Women to Watch in Sales Lead Management for 2014. We've run this program now. This is the fourth year. We started in 2011, 12, 13, and now 14. And it was really started to recognize women in the marketplace with an emphasis in marketing and sales, and especially sales lead management.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad that you're here today, and thanks for joining me. But what we're trying to do, though, is not only give a little bit of history on why you started this, I'll let you tell that in a minute, but we want to make sure we encourage people. Who's that woman that's standing out in your company or that you run across or you network with that, man, she has her act together, she's making a difference, she's mentoring, she's speaking, she's making groundbreaking progress. Who is leading the charge? That's who we want you to nominate. And women, if you know that nobody's talking about you enough, you can nominate yourself. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. We really do want to hear about your accomplishments. And it isn't just so we can give you a prize. It's because it encourages other people, especially women, to keep going and give them something and they can learn from you. It's part of the mentoring end of this. So Jim, why don't you tell us a little bit on how you started this and why? I know we started it 4 years ago, but why?
Well, first of all, you know that we've got the 50 most influential people in sales lead management, and that is a popularity contest, and hundreds, 80 to 100 people are nominated every year. Thousands of votes are cast. But I looked at that and I said, one of the issues I could see as I looked at a lot of these companies was simply that women who are so important in marketing and sales were not getting the recognition. When you look at the boards of most of these high-tech companies, 90% of the board, 95% of the board are men. And there's a woman maybe in marketing, but most likely not, HR or customer service or something. And yet I know 80 or 85% of all the staff functions, the marketing directors, and the people that are running the marketing, the women, the people that are creating wealth in business to business today are women, and it aggravated me when I saw that they weren't being recognized. So we said, and I went to you and I said, let's figure out a way that we can recognize these women, but let's not just make it a popularity contest. Let's make it a program where people will nominate them. They can self-nominate, that's fine. They will nominate them, and in the nomination there will be accolades. They'll talk about board positions, books they've written, places they speak, and we will take these 30 to 40 or 50 nominations. Those nominations will be put up on the website, and we will then go ahead and have an independent group look at all the nominations and actually choose the 20 women to watch. So this was our contribution to say women create wealth in business-to-business marketing. They're not being recognized. It's about time. Sorry
Right.
it took so long, but
Oh, that's great. So let's make it easy for them. So if you have that woman in mind, or women, if you know you want to be part of this list, go to theslma.com. That's THESLMA.com. And at the top, there's a banner. Click on that banner. And if you're a member, you can log in. And if you aren't a member, membership is free. Fill out the form really quick, and you'll be prompted then to submit the nomination. And be sure to fill out the form all the way. We want to know, what have you written? Where have you been speaking? We want to know all the details of all the great things you've been doing over the past year. That's how we're going to learn more about you and be able to share it with everybody else. And the other benefit, if you are selected, you will definitely be invited to be a guest on the SLMA radio show. We have a weekly show, and we are always featuring fabulous leaders in sales and marketing.
well, it's very interesting, Susan. When I see the women that apply, very often they're from the vendor side. They may be offering software to marketing people. Jill Rowley over at Eloqua, or Maria Pergolino, who is over at Marketo, and I think she's at Aptus now. And a lot of these women that are very prominent in the industry, one of the things we don't see enough of are the women that are actually in the companies doing the marketing. Now, maybe they say, well, geez, maybe I shouldn't apply because I haven't written a book. I'm not in consulting. Or because I'm not sitting on a board. Or I don't speak all the time. But interestingly enough, we still want to hear from those women that are sitting in those corporations because they can say, well, you know, I increased our market share by 40% since I've been here. That's a greater point of recognition than anybody who's written a book.
Agreed. Definitely.
So if they're not on boards and they haven't written a lot of articles, they took a department from here and they did this to it. When I came in, we had no social presence, and we have a huge social presence now. We had no videos, and now we're getting 2,500 to 3,000 downloads on videos a month that are being broadcast. Our market share was 15%. It's now 25%. We had no marketing plan, and now we have a marketing plan. These things are just as important as any article that's written. So I encourage women to step up and be recognized. And it's, you know, it's really interesting. Walt Whitman said, if you've done it, it ain't bragging, right? If you've done it, it ain't bragging. And it's, you and I have talked about this in these 3 years, how women hesitate to step forward and brag. If this were a 20 men to watch, I'd have 500 people applying for it. You know, their egos are, you know, far beyond their ability to produce, but I would like to see most, well, they are, you know, they talk about crap they didn't do, excuse me. They talk about stuff they haven't done or things they'd like to do. They take credit for everybody else. I'd like to see the women don't usually take credit for something they didn't do. They look at themselves in a nurturing standpoint. It's part of being a woman, of saying, how can I help these salespeople? How can I increase that market share, that lead generation? How can I bring on that new agency? How can I control that content marketing agency so they give us the best content? I mean, there are some, boy, Jeanne Hopkins, Jill Rowley, Jill Conrath. You take a look at these women out there in the industry. They are doers sitting there. We've had some great women that have, I'm trying to see some of our list here. Some of the, we've had so many. Let's see, I've got someone up
Carla
here.
Blaylock, don't forget her. Laura McGuire.
Laura McGuire started, she started a company out in Colorado. She sold it and did extremely well. Lisa Kramer, Janelle Johnson, Janet Lee, Jenny Vance, who speaks all the time, Kathy Sachs, Lori Richardson, we've seen her a couple times, Debbie Kakosh. Debbie has written a book, The Revenue Marketer, which is one of the best books on marketing I have ever read, including my 4 books, from a pure marketing standpoint. So I'm going to be going to Rev Talks in another week and a half, but where we're going to talk about this. But I'll bet you the movers and shakers at Rev Talks are going to be women, and we're going to be there interviewing them.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to getting those interviews. Are they going to be live, or are you just going to record them and then we'll post them later?
We're going to record them.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and interview Jeff Pedowitz and Debbie, and then at 1 o'clock on Monday during the program, and then I'm going to hope to get, I've got a whole list of all the speakers. So
okay, great.
I'm lined up with my my mic flag and my microphone and my iPad to go out and interview people as part of the media, and we expect to run those on the upcoming SLMA radio program. Now, we've had a lot of women on the radio program.
Right.
Let's face it, the program has been running for over about 3 years now. We've had 155 programs, 267 CEO interviews, so we're not exactly a fly-by-night little media company. We're a serious internet radio, and we're going to have these women up there on the program.
Well, we're also going to, we'll post those videos as well to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
The Salesy Management Association, and to your own. So anybody following either of those channels, will be sure to get those up there for you, and this will be up there soon too. Jim, thank you so much. Again, go to theslma.com. That's THESLMA.com to nominate a woman for the Women to Watch in Sales Lead Management, 2014. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.
All right.